From having worked with more than 1,500 people through coaching in human design, I definitely can see some tendencies. And obviously, I've also been observing all the people in my environment, and knowing their human design have given me a lot of clarity and a lot of funny and interesting observations that I want to share with you in this video. If you don't know me yet, my name is Leandra. I'm a human design specialist. I also work with astrology, numerology, and I work in the holistic health field. And you can check out all the links to work with me down below. Also, if you have not calculated your chart, I would highly recommend downloading my free app Halo, where you can calculate your chart for free and you can read about yourself and you can see everything that we're gonna talk about today. So let's get started into today's topic. And one of the very interesting observations that I've made is that people who are emotional, and you can see that if you look at your chart when it says authority emotional, then you are an emotional person. And it means that emotional people are really drawn to drinking tea, because tea, and that is just my personal view on it or opinion on it, because tea moves in the frequency of waves. If you think about how tea works in your body, right? It is not like coffee. It is not shooting you up there and then let you crash. Tea is a very soft and gentle energy that kind of moves and gives you energy in waves, or maybe gives you a feeling of calmness or whatever the case may be, depending on the tea that you're drinking. But it will move you through waves, which means that the emotions are also operating on the frequency of waves. And therefore, both of these energies are clicking into each other in a quite perfect manner. And that means when you're emotional, drinking tea will be beneficial for your energy system, because your energy system is also operating in waves. And that's why naturally a lot of people that are emotional are tending towards loving tea or drinking tea all the time. Whereas if people who are not emotional but tend to be splenic or are splenic or have a even splenic authority, and you can check that again in your chart if it says authority spleen, or if the little triangle on the left hand side is colored in, which is the spleen, that means that have a very good body awareness, that you're operating on a moment-to-moment approach, that your body is telling you basically on a physical plane what is healthy and what is good for you. So that energy is very straightforward. It is in the moment. It is just here, there. It is more the logical side of things, whereas the emotional side is a little bit more the wavy feeling kind of things. So there's just two different waves basically, or different frequencies. So splenic people love coffee in my observation, or go really well with coffee, because it is again the same frequency, because coffee, as you probably know, shoots you up there, gives you energy, but then goes away again. So this is a very momentarily energy, a very straightforward energy. So people who are splenic and not emotional tend to like coffee a lot in my observation, which I can definitely from my perspective agree to. I'm not emotional and I'm splenic, which means that I definitely love coffee. I've always loved coffee a lot. I've even worked as a barista for a long time. And I do not like tea at all. It just makes me very tired, makes me exhausted, or even super emotional in a weird way. So I do not drink tea, I do not like tea. And that is also obviously applicable to me then. But yeah, you can also let me know if that resonates with you when you look at your chart. For people who are emotional but also have the spleen defined, they usually like both in my observation, which makes sense, right? They're tapping into either the wavy side of things or into the more direct, more momentarily side of things. Whereas people who neither have the spleen nor the emotional solar plexus defined, they're kind of also sometimes liking both, or sometimes are very sensitive to neither. They cannot drink much tea or coffee because they're extremely sensitive. And again, please let me know. This is all about observation. This is all about realizations that I've had. And yeah, let me know if that resonates. So people who have an open heart center, and the heart center is the small little triangle, that one is standing for willpower, motivation, determination, also for the self, for the ego energy basically. So people who have that open, so you will see it when you look at your chart if it's not colored in, love cacao in my observation, because that brings this heart energy, that brings that willfulness, that brings that warmth around your heart, right? So will bring you energy there which you usually do not naturally have in your natural energy system. So people with an open heart center love cacao in my observation, whereas I, for example, I have a defined heart center and I do not like cacao at all because it gives me too much energy and I just feel very anxious and I feel like I'm basically high on drugs with that because I have so much energy that it feels unpleasant and it doesn't feel good to me. So it doesn't really click into my energy system. So yeah, again, let me know, do you like cacao? And by the way, with matcha, it is kind of the same. Matcha is also linked to the solar plexus in my observation and to the heart center. So it's kind of like in between the both. So people who are emotional like matcha and people who have an open heart center also like matcha in my observation. Again, if we look at the open heart center, we can also see that people have it open often do not have a consistent way for willpower and motivation, and often also not self-esteem. And that's why they tend to use alcohol or especially cocaine also a lot more, because both of these drugs give you more self-confidence, right? And let you go out and talk and be more social, etc. And be more of that ego energy, especially cocaine is known to give that ego energy, right? So people who have an open heart center tend to be more drawn to these kind of substances, whereas people who have that energy naturally don't need that, or often are very not really linking well into alcohol or cocaine. And that's another observation that I made. And yeah, if you're brave, let me know if that resonates. And another observation, as we're already talking about alcohol and drugs and party, the people who have a defined root center love techno and love going out to dance, because the root center has a lot of pressure and that needs to be physically worked off. So the root center is all the way on the bottom of your chart if you look at it, and the pressure needs to physically be put into action, into motion. So people who have a defined root center, in my observation, love going out to parties, love going full on, love dancing, love also hardcore exercise, but especially in my observation, love techno, because it's this kind of rooted, grounded rhythm, that beat, like that consistent vibration that is kind of linking really well into the root center. And again, I love techno, as you probably know, and I love dancing. So yeah, I definitely have a very strongly defined root center. So again, also that works really well for me and for my clients and the people that I've observed around me. Also, if you have a 3 in your profile, and the profile is the 2 numbers that you will always see, so you could have a 1-3 or a 3-6 or a 6-3 or a 3-5, then you will also most likely probably be drawn towards party or like to go out, be very active. So these people are the party people. These are the people who are not afraid to, yeah, go out and do the things. They're very active. So most people who party are having somewhere a 3 in their profile. But again, this is just a generalization. Whereas most people who are mostly in nature, in like full nature people, and go at their weekends more on a hike and stuff like that, they have a 2 in their profile, because the 2 is linked to all natural and to nature in general. So that will be linked up as well with the 2 in your profile. So these people are tending to go out a little bit more and explore the nature, while the 3 people are inside the club and partying. So yeah, these were just, oh, one more thing. If you have gate 19 defined in your root center, then you are most likely a vegetarian or even a vegan, because people are extremely sensitive with the 19. They feel a lot, they sense a lot, and they also sense animal, and they sense the pain that an animal might have had in the process. So they're really feeling deeply for everyone and everything. So yeah, you're most likely a vegetarian or vegan. Again, I have gate 19. I'm a vegetarian my whole life, and most people around me, 99% I would say as well. If you have the full channel though of the 1949, then it might look a little bit different, and you actually might like and want and need meat. However, there I see kind of split depending in which gate it is, in which planet it is, etc. So we would need to look a little bit deeper into that. And if you want to go deeper and find out more about your chart and what makes you special and unique, then reach out for a reading. My readings are on sale still for the month of March for 122 euro. So you can book that all in the link below, and let me know what you think about all of that. And also, if you have more questions, let me know in the comments. I'm sending you so much love, and bye. See you next time.